To support the continuation of the safe freight rate minimum pay policy, the truckers' union went on strike on November 24th. This year marks the end of the temporary program known as Safe Freight Rate, which was designed to keep truckers from overloading or driving too fast. Economic losses accumulated as the strike continued, so the government issued a back-to-work order, saying they must stop the illegal strike. The truckers' union held a vote to decide if they should call off the strike. Today, we will take a look at strikes and back-to-work orders. What is a strike? A strike is when a group of employees stops working at the same time to demand their employer improve their working conditions. The Industrial Revolution gave rise to many different types of laborers, who were required to work long hours for relatively low pay. But workers could not negotiate with the company individually because they lacked social status or economic power, so they had to continue working under terrible conditions. To fix this, workers began striking collectively so that they could negotiate with the company as an equal. Legal and illegal strikes. The right of workers to organize unions and go on strike is protected by the Constitution, although depending on the circumstances, a strike may be against the law. For a strike to be legal, it must meet the following conditions. First, the group going on strike must be established rightfully under the law and have the qualifications to negotiate with the company. Also, the purpose of going on strike must be to enable the union to negotiate with the company so that they can improve working conditions. The company and workers' union must first discuss improving the conditions, and if the company rejects their terms, then workers can go on strike. Unless there are special circumstances, the union must follow legal procedures such as surveying the opinions of union members to start the strike. Finally, the tools and methods of the strike must not severely damage the company's property rights, and violence cannot be used. If these criteria are not met and the strike is deemed illegal, the union must compensate for the losses the company took, and workers who participated in the strike might even be criminally punished. Back-to-work order. The government is entitled to order workers back to work even if the strike is legitimate and if it poses a serious risk to the greater good of society or the economy as a whole. This is called a back-to-work order. A back-to-work order is an executive order issued by the executive branch and not by the Constitution or legislated laws. If workers do not follow the back-to-work order without a justifiable reason, they may be subject to suspension of fewer than 6 months, imprisonment for a period of fewer than 3 years, or a fine of less than 30 million won. However, some believe that such back-to-work orders are invalid because they violate the Constitution, which protects the freedom to work and the freedom of the body. The company, government, and the truckers' union should communicate sufficiently to reach a social agreement.